In the last session, we discussed about descriptive flex fields. In this session, we are going to discuss about automatic offsets. So I'll try to categorize this session into different sections. The first one is we are going to understand what is automatic offsets and what are different categories in it, and we will see each one after other. So offset accounts are nullifying accounts. In till now, we have seen only two important transactions, that is creating an invoice and doing accounting for the invoice. That is the first transaction. The next one is making payment to the invoice and creating accounting to the invoice. So in these two transactions, the liability account and cash clearing account are offset accounts. Liability account will be used in invoice accounting, and it will be used even in the payments accounting, and cash clearing accounting is used in the payments accounting. If we see, like, you might be wondering, in invoice or in the payments, from where these accounts are getting derived. The derivation logic for these accounts: for liability account, at supplier site level for a given business unit, we will be giving the liability account. Whatever we give there, while creating an invoice, we need to give the supplier. So it will look back to the supplier side definition and see what is the liability account given there, and that will be used in the invoice. Let's assume if liability account is not given in the supplier site level, that field is not a mandatory field. We can leave it blank. In that scenario, system takes the liability account from the common options. The common options for payables and procurement for the given business unit, there is a liability account which is a mandatory field. It picks from there. And when we create an invoice, at invoice header level, there is a field under accounting tab. There is a field liability account. So using these two derivation logics, it gets populated in the invoice header. Coming to the cash clearing account, when we are making a payment, we should give the disbursement bank account, which is used for the payment. For a disbursement bank account, there will be cash clearing account will be given for a given business unit. So this account, cash clearing account, will be derived from the bank account. This is how these two accounts get defaulted, and they will be used in the invoice accounting and payments accounting. If we want to change this above derivation logic, there is an option to change it. The above derivation logic can be changed using automatic offsets. When we define the automatic offsets, the source for these two account derivations changes from whatever the source that we have discussed above to the account that is given in the invoice distribution level. If we give a account in the invoice distribution level, that can be used to override the previous derivation logic that we discussed in the point 2. Automatic offset setup are defined at common options for payables and procurement for a given BU. Automatic offset values are no default, only primary segment, all segments except natural segment. In the first scenario, whatever the derivation logic we discussed in the point 2 will be applied. If we select only primary segment, then The fourth point, source will get changed to the invoice distribution account, right? But the entire account won't be overridden, but only primary segment of this account will be used. All segments except natural segment account. In this scenario, only natural segment will not be overridden from the invoice distribution account, but all other accounts will be overridden. So let's see it in a pictorial way so that we will get some understanding, and then we will go to the instance and do this and we'll verify that. So the first option, no defaults, right? In that option, if you see how liability account combination is derived, generally it is derived from the specified invoice header. But from where the invoice liability account is coming from, the invoice header, as we discussed, it comes either from supplier side. If there is no value in the supplier side, it comes from the common options for payables and procurement, and that comes to the invoice header, and this is used in the invoice accounting. Similarly, for in the payment process, the cash clearing account, right? Specified in the BU under bank account, whatever is there, that will be derived, that will be used, but not the invoice distribution account. The other options that we have, like uh, default from like primary segment or all segments except natural segment, they are next cases that we'll be discussing. But in this scenario, this whatever I am showing now, this is none scenario where there is no offsets. In that scenario, this is how a system works. This is what even we did. We have created a lot of invoices and did payments, but we never checked from where it is coming up. We will now go to the instance and see this. Okay, first we will verify offsets from where they are getting set, and then we will see first one. Let me go to the instance. First, let's see where these offsets are defined as a setup. Yeah. So under manage common options for payables and procurement for given business unit. So let us switch it to US business event because we are going to create our invoices in the US business event. So let us switch it to US. Now we are under US on business unit, and this is the section where we give the automatic offsets setup. This is the automatic offset setup. The possible values are none, primary balance segment, all segments except natural account. Right now it is set to none, means the liability account will be taken from supplier side or from common payable options, which gets defaulted into invoice header and that will be used. And in the case of payments, cash clearing account will be derived from the setup cash clearing account that is given in the bank account for a given BU. So let us go and verify this. So let's first go and see the setups that are given in the supply site level. So first, now we are going to create the invoice. So we'll go and see at supplier site level what is the account and whether that is coming in the invoice or not. Staples is the supplier that we are going to use in the invoice. Let us go to the sites. For this site, let us click on the edit. Site assignments, and now we are looking at US1 business unit. That's where we are going to create the invoice for this supplier. And if we see, we gave the liability account as 303. I'm noting it down here so that we will verify it when we create the invoice whether the same account is coming or not. Okay, save and close. Now let's create an invoice for Staple supplier under US1 business unit. US1 business unit, supplier is Staples, supplier site is Staples US1. Now let us save it. Okay, 400. Let us save the invoice header. And if we click on show more, the other tabs, accounting tab, tags, and additional information will be shown. If we go to the accounting tab, if you see this liability distribution account, this got defaulted from the supplier site, whatever the value is given. Let us cross check that. It is 303 3022100. 303 3022100. So it is getting defaulted from there. Okay, let's continue the invoice creation. Let us take some invoice distribution. set. Instead of invoice distribution set, we will give the invoice distribution account. So there are two different accounts, one liability account at a header level and invoice distribution account. And as we have set up automatic offsets as none in the invoice accounting, it will take the liability accounting that is available in the invoice header. That is what the expectation is, and we will verify that. Save, validate. Okay, so let us, I think this is got approved automatically. Let's post it to GL and see the accounting. Yeah, it has now, if you observe, right, generally we have two entries, one liability, item expense and liability. As we have used a different account, the account for item expense has code, company code as 101, but the account for liability has 303. As this becomes as an intercompany accounting, and it has created many lines. So let us focus only on what is the thing of our interest. For liability account, what is the account that got defaulted? Right? Let us check that. This is the liability account. It got credited, and if we see here, 30330222100. That is what is there at the supplier site level, and the same got used in the invoice accounting. As automatic offsets is none, right? And it has updated intercompany accounts as well. So we will not get into those details right now. Our focus is mainly on the liability account, and it's how it is getting derived based on the automatic offsets. Similarly, let's move on to the payment of this invoice, and we'll verify whether the account is coming correctly from the bank account. Before that, let us verify what is the bank account, cash clearing account given in the bank account level. Manage bank accounts. No, I'm looking for. Yeah, let me just check that why it is not showing up. Hi. So somehow I'm not getting the bank account. I want to search the bank account number of Bank of America, but I want to show you the cash clearing account that is there and then verify at the payment time of payments. So let's not stop our work now. Okay, generally it gets defaulted from the bank account. Let us make a payment with the same bank account and see what is coming over there. Create a payment. Our payment number is 4052. Let us add the invoice. For the invoice, I have made an already 100 payment just to ensure that with that bank account it is working, as it is not showing up there in the setups. So now it is 338. Let's make a payment for $100. Let us query the payment. Yeah, if we see, liability account is the one coming from the invoice. At the invoice level, whatever liability account got accounted, the same account is being used. And cash clearing account is coming from the bank account. So now we are done with the first option, none of the offset accounts. Now we will go to the next. We will change the setup and we will do the redo the process and we will see that how the account derivation getting changed. So now we have done this and we verified it is working as expected. Now we are changing the setup to primary segment. Let us change it to primary balancing segment. Yes, save and close. So now when we do this, right, when we change it to primary balancing segment, in the derivation process, this is for invoice. The liability account given in the invoice header, all the segments will come to the resultant account, but company code, the primary balancing segment will come from the invoice distribution. So let us go and verify that by creating a new invoice. Let me create an invoice for US1 business unit. Staple supplier. A 005 is for 500. Save. And let us cross check whether the liability account is coming from the supplier side. Yes, it came from the supplier side 303 22 100. Let us enter in line. Now let us give invoice distribution account. Yeah, I'm selecting this. So now liability account at header is different and the invoice distribution account is different. And now we have changed the setup to primary balancing segment for offset account. Let us save this. There is no taxes applied. Let us validate. $547.50. It got validated. Let us post it to GL. Yes. Now, if we see liability account, here the rest of the segments came from the supplier side, except the primary balancing segment. In the invoice distribution, we gave uh, a different combination, having the primary balancing segment as 101 that got defaulted, but at header level it was 303. So based on the setup, we took from the invoice distribution account, and the remaining segments are from the supplier side, which are there at the invoice header. Now similarly, we will check for payments. Let us create a payment for this. Payment document is check stock A. It's 4053 is the payment document number. Four zero five three. Open the payment number. Create a post to ledger. Yeah. Now let us see the cash clearing. So cash clearing is 101, 124. Similar, let's go to liability. First, if you see the liability, it is 101. This is from the invoice distribution and the rest are from the supplier side. But the same is not applied for cash clearing because we didn't give a different account at cash clearing level, like bank account level. Earlier, if you remember, we are not able to query the bank and account and change it. Because of that, we are not able to show you exactly the changed one because invoice distribution is having company balance sheet segment as 101, and even the account at the bank account level is also 101. So it is the same. That is the reason we are not seeing the difference. But that's how it works. If we give a different account, let's say 301 at bank account level and in 101 at invoice distribution, then we might have seen that difference visually. Okay, but let us note it down the bank account, cash clearing account. In the next step, we can see the difference when we are testing the next scenario. This is the cash clearing account at bank account level. Let's make a note of it. Next one, what we'll do is next we'll change the setup to third option. Let us go to setup and maintenance. Now I'm changing it to all segments except natural account. When this is the setup, if you see all segments from the invoice distribution will come over here to the resulting account except the natural account. Natural account will come from the invoice header, that is supplier side. Similarly, this is cash clearing except whatever there in the invoice distribution remaining only the account will come from the bank account setup. I'll take a moment for you to look at this, how it is coming. Let's move on and we'll create a new invoice, and for that invoice we will give a different account at the distribution level, and that won't come whatever is there in the supplier side and it had invoice header, that will come. Let us see that. Let us create invoice for US1 business unit. Staples $600, 8006, $600. I'll change the account here to different. I'll take some random account. Let's not take much time here. Okay. Yeah, I'm taking this account to see if that combination exists. Okay. Now to note it down, this is the account that we have at the invoice header, and this is the account that we have at invoice distribution. So as for the setup, the resultant account should be, except natural account, everything should come, should override at the invoice distribution. So this is the natural account. This will not be overridden with the invoice distribution account. So this is what we are expecting. We'll verify whether that is coming or not. If you see the liability account, yeah, so 10110222100. It is coming as expected. Similarly, let's make a payment to this. At payment level, we will not be able to validate it because we didn't change the setup clearly at bank account, but still we made a change at the distribution, right? This should at least come. Let us make a payment and see. Stables. Let us take the disbursement account. Let's check standard check, check stock. Let us make the payment for full amount. 4054 is the payment number. Manage payments. 4054. Post to ledger. Yeah, now let us look at the cash clearing account. This is the invoice distribution account. Everything should come over here except the 222100. So that's what happened. We might have given some 20 and might have seen that, but it works actually. So to summarize, right, let us recall what we have discussed. Like offsets accounts are nullifying accounts in the transaction, and in our payments specifically, right, if our invoice and for payment, they are liability account and cash clearing account. Derivation logic for liability account is from supplier side if that doesn't exist from the common options for payables and procurement, and it defaults to invoice header. For cash clearing account, it will be from the bank account associated with BU. We will be defining a cash clearing account and that will be used. This above derivation logic can be changed using automatic offsets. Like if these are the possible values for automatic offsets, if it is no default, it goes with the point to logic. If it is only primary segment, then primary segment that is there in the invoice distribution will get overridden. If all segments except natural segment, then all segments except natural segment in the invoice distribution account will come into the liability account in the accounting. Yeah, we have completed the automatic offsets concept. Thank you.